Welcome to my story channel. I'm Shamrock. The story has begun. Welcome to subscribe. I received a new student in my class for English training. When chatting with him, he said his mother is the big star Su Yao, beautiful and rich. What a coincidence. My wife, who has been married to me for 7 years, is also called Su Yao and is a big star. I immediately contacted Su Yao and proposed divorce to her. But I forgot that she never got a marriage certificate with me from the beginning. It turns out that I was the third party who intruded on someone else's feelings. My mother is the big star Su Yao, rich and good-looking. Teacher Jiang, you must teach me well, so your treatment will not be bad. In front of me, the 7-year-old boy Shui Hao said to me with pride. A click, the mobile phone I was sending a message to Su Yao fell to the ground. My wife is also called Su Yao, and she is also a big star. And she has been married to me for 7 years. Just now I was still sending WeChat to ask if she will come back at night. I felt suffocated, but I tried to calm down. I told myself in my heart that it must be impossible. It must just be a coincidence. Shui Hao, can you show me a photo of you and your mother? Shui Hao looked proud and said, of course, I grew up abroad since I was a child, and my mother and I have taken a lot of photos together. He took out his mobile phone and flipped through the photos for me to see. This is my mother and me riding horses. In the photo, Su Yao smiled sweetly, holding Shui Hao in the horse field. Flipping through later, there are not only photos of the two of them, but also photos of a family of 3. The photo was taken in a villa, with a young man in a suit holding Shui Hao on one side and Su Yao on the other. This is my dad. He is also very powerful. He is Shui Wen, the president of Shui Group. Shui Hao continued to say, every word of him was like a knife in my heart. I couldn't bear to watch it anymore, and I turned off his mobile phone, feeling my heart was convulsing with pain. Shui Hao, the teacher is not feeling well and is going home first. I tried to hold back my emotions and walked out, but I ran into a man in expensive clothes. I recognized him at a glance. He is the man in the photo just now. Shui Hao's father, Shui Wen. Hello, Teacher Jiang. My son's first day of English training today. How is his condition? Shui Wen adjusted his golden glasses on the bridge of his nose. At this time, a video call suddenly came from his mobile phone. The note on the phone was wifed. After connecting, Su Yao's beautiful face appeared on the screen. Honey, you and Hao just returned to the country. I made time tonight. Let's go to have Western food. My blood seemed to solidify. I have been married to Su Yao for 7 years, but now she is calling someone else's husband. The most important thing is that they have a child who is already 7 years old. This means that when she married me, she already had Shui Wen's child. I feel that my emotions are about to break. Now I just want to find Su Yao to clarify everything. I told Shui Wen that I have something else to do, and then I left the training class directly. On the way home, I kept calling Su Yao, but she didn't answer any, just sent a WeChat message to tell me, honey, I have to work overtime tonight. I won't come back at night. At this moment, I feel my heart is about to break. If it weren't for seeing Shui Wen call her with my own eyes, I would believe her words. Think about the years I have been married to her. She has also used this reason to say she won't go home more than once. I never doubted her every time. You must come back tonight. I have something to tell you. After I sent this message, she never replied again. I had to call her assistant. Because Su Yao is a star, so when I married her, it was held in secret. So in addition to her assistant and a few of our friends, not many people know we are husband and wife. Do you know where Su Yao is? I tried to make my voice sound normal. There was some stammering on the other end of the phone. Brother Jiang, Sister Su still has work today. What's the matter with you looking for her? Nothing. I just want to know where she is, so I can be at ease. Just now she sent me a WeChat message saying that she was going to have dinner first and then work, right? I know. If I don't say that, the assistant won't tell me her location. The assistant hurriedly said, oh, yes, Sister Su is going to have dinner at Ruihua restaurant now, and then she will work. I went to Ruihua restaurant. As soon as I arrived, I saw Shui Wen holding Shui Hao and hugging Su Yao. A happy family of 3. It's really hard not to be envious. But this scene stung my eyes fiercely. Over the years with Su Yao, although she rarely accompanied me due to work, our feelings were very good, so I never doubted any words she said to me. She said she was busy, I believe. She often went to the UK on business, saying there was a lot of cooperation there, and I also believe. But now I know, she was hiding from me to give birth to Shui Hao at that time. I was still foolishly thinking that she was really working. I covered my chest, feeling the pain was suffocating me. I tried to take a photo of their family of 3 with my mobile phone, and then sent it to Suyao. 20 minutes later, Suyao called me. Honey, listen to my explanation. This is just a play. There was a trace of panic in her voice. It seems to be afraid that I am angry. If it weren't for meeting Shui Hao, who transferred to my class today, I would never doubt her. After all, she is really good at pretending every day, pretending to make me believe that she really loves me. Suyao, I have seen it all. My voice was hoarse. It's really just a play. Today is shooting a family of 3 eating a plate. It's really ridiculous. Now that things have come to this, she is still lying to me. Shui Hao showed me your family photos, as well as your photos with him. He said you are his mother, Shui Wen is his father. The more I said, the more distressed I felt. My voice was trembling. Suyao, let's get a divorce. After saying this, I suddenly remembered that she and I did not get a certificate at the beginning. Because she said that being a star needs to be single, afraid of being discovered by the company. I believed her. But now I know why she didn't get a certificate with me. Because she got a certificate with Shui Wen. And I am the third party who broke into their feelings. I don't even have the qualification to propose a divorce. Sorry, I forgot. You didn't get a certificate with me. My voice was choked. I don't have the qualification to propose a divorce to you. It turns out that being betrayed by the person you love is really a taste of life. I met Suyao in the year when she was most down and out. At that time, she was slandered for having an implicit rule with the director, and the whole network was cyberbullying her, and netizens also went to scold her in daily life. Once, she was followed by a netizen, and I was walking next to her. She was scared and grabbed my hand. Her voice was trembling. Please save me. Someone is following me. I turned my head and saw a man with a knife rushing up. I subconsciously blocked her, and the knife stabbed into my stomach fiercely. As a result, my kidney was punctured, and I stayed in the hospital for a long time. Later, she was very grateful to me, not only gave me a lot of money, but also took care of me in the hospital every day. She asked me, why would you be willing to help a stranger block the knife? I said, it was a subconscious reaction. After hearing this, her eyes trembled slightly, and her eyes turned red. If it weren't for you, I might have died that day. Then she told me about her online experience. She said that during this period, her family went bankrupt, and she also experienced cyberbullying. I sympathized with her and said I was willing to help her find out who was slandering her. Then we stayed together every day, eating together, investigating together, playing games together. Slowly, I developed feelings for her, but I don't know her feelings for me. Later, after I was discharged from the hospital, it took me a year to find out that she was framed by a star in the same industry. After the truth was revealed, she made a comeback and became more popular than before. She was very grateful to me and invited me to dinner. That night, we both drank a little, but we were all sober, and she took the initiative to propose. Jiang Cheng, would you like to marry me? We had a relationship, and soon after, we held a wedding ceremony. Although we didn't get a marriage certificate, she promised me that as soon as her contract with the talent agency expired, she would get the certificate with me. I used to really think it was because of this reason that she couldn't get the certificate with me. Now I know, she was deceiving me. She deceived me for 7 years, and our child is 5 years old, and I just found out that I was a third party. Honey, calm down. Suyao's voice trembled slightly. Listen to me, I and Shui Wen are just a business marriage. You also know that I was very difficult at the beginning. I could only find a patron to help myself make a comeback. So you had to deceive me for the sake of money? Keep me in the dark for 7 years. I clenched my phone tightly, and my heart was full of disappointment for her. I still remember when we chose the rings together. She held my hand tightly. Ah Chung, it's my life's fortune to marry you. I swear, I will never betray you. But now all her promises have been overturned. She has a husband and a son. And I am the third party, and our daughter has become an illegitimate child. I have no way. At that time my family went bankrupt, and I was also cyberbullied. Suyao continued to speak. And now it doesn't matter. Shui Wen doesn't know about your existence. We can continue to live happily as before. And you just didn't get that red book, but our love for each other is enough. I can't believe what I heard from her ears. Such a value-destroying remark. She actually said it out loud. Su Yao, I will leave, and I will take the daughter with me. Don't contact anymore. After all, I have been with her for so many years, and it was very painful for me to say this. But I had to. She suddenly got angry. Impossible. Jiang Cheng, I will not give you the daughter. If you want to see your daughter, just stay by my side, otherwise I will never let you see her in this life. Her words were like a basin of cold water splashed on me, making me feel cold all over. I never thought she would use my daughter to threaten me. At the beginning, the daughter was sent away by her as soon as she was born, because she said she was afraid of being photographed by the paparazzi. And over the years, she didn't let me contact her. She said her career is very important. She is afraid of being discovered that she has a daughter, so she can't make any mistakes. So I endure until now. I haven't seen my daughter, and I don't know where she was sent. My daughter is now my only relative. I can't do without her. Jiang Cheng, don't blame me for being ruthless. I just don't want you to leave me. I love you very much. Her tone softened as usual. I think it's very funny. If she really loved me, why would she have a child with another man? At this moment, I really don't understand what love is. After going back, I waited all night, and Su Yao didn't come back until dawn. I called her again, and she didn't answer. In a moment, I saw her announce on Weibo that she had been married to Shui Wen for many years, and also said that they have a son. After all, Shui Wen's status is there. Netizens are very accommodating, and they are all blessing them. Tyrant handsome female star. Wow, it's a good match. My heart is completely broken at this moment. Anger and pain filled my chest. The idea of leaving her became more and more firm. But I don't know where my daughter is. In the following days, I could only keep in touch with Su Yao. I want to find out where my daughter is. But she still didn't answer my call, nor did she come home once. I only saw her on Weibo posting photos of her showing affection with Shui Wen. She seems to have forgotten my existence. At this time, I received her WeChat message. Have you thought it over? Do you still want to leave me now? Jiang Cheng, as long as you take back the words of leaving me, I will take you to see your daughter, and we will continue as before. She is on one side with Shui Wen, and on the other side, she is hanging me. Really regard me as her spare tire. At this moment, I really regret being with her. I didn't want to reply to her, but thinking of my daughter, I still replied to her, okay, I promise not to leave, but I must see my daughter. She replied quickly, okay. I thought Su Yao would take me to see my daughter if she promised. But when she came back at night, she didn't mention it. Just as usual, she pounced into my arms and acted coquettishly. Ah Cheng, I miss you so much. Shall we go to bed? Thinking of her sleeping with Shui Wen, I feel extremely disgusted. And now I just want to see my daughter. I want to see my daughter. I pushed her away. She was stunned, seemingly unexpected that I would push her away directly. After all, I have never treated her like this. Tomorrow I will take you. But the next morning when I got up, she was gone. Then I received a WeChat message from her saying that she had an important awards ceremony today. It was only then that I realized that she was just delaying time. She doesn't want me to see my daughter at all. I can only find out the location of her awards ceremony online. When I arrived, she was on stage delivering her acceptance speech. A reporter asked her, Miss Su, you just recently announced your love. Can you talk about your love story with President Shui? Of course. She smiled lightly. Shui Wen and I have been married for 7 years. What am I then? I rushed to the stage directly, interrupting her. Her pupils shrank, and she whispered, What are you doing here? Hurry up and leave. I can't leave. Today I have to tell everyone here that you have deceived me for 7 years. As soon as I said this, Su Yao's face turned pale. I know she cares most about her career. I didn't want to go to this step with her, but I had no choice. She forced me. The audience was in an uproar. Who is this man? What does he mean? I looked at the audience and calmly stated everything. At first, Su Yao and I held a wedding ceremony, but she didn't get a certificate with me. She deceived me because she was afraid the company would know, but now I know that she got a certificate with Shui Wen. Don't listen to his nonsense. Su Yao rushed over, trying to push me down. Jiangqing, you'd better get down, or I won't let you see your daughter. It's really funny. Even now, she is still threatening me. I pushed her away. Now that I know everything, I am preparing to leave, but Suyao won't let me leave. And she is using our daughter to threaten me, so I can't find out where my daughter is. I have no choice but to say everything here. Please help me find my daughter. As soon as I finished speaking, someone asked, is what you said true? Of course it's true, duh. I took out my phone, flipped through the photos of my wedding with Suyao, and put them under the reporter's lens. Damn, he is telling the truth. Everyone hurry up and take a picture. This is a hot news. Soon, many reporters were grabbing the shot. Suyao's face was pale, her eyes were full of despair. She must be very uncomfortable now. But I am more uncomfortable than her. Once I loved her so much, I thought I would be with her until the end. But she has deceived me for so many years, and even threatened me with my daughter. Soon, the matter of the awards ceremony spread wildly on the internet. The hot search is all about Suyao. Suyao's 2 husbands. Suyao straddles 2 boats. Suyao's awards ceremony. Everyone is cursing her. After all, she has always been the national goddess in front of everyone. And the ratings of her newly released TV drama have also been affected. Everyone is calling for her to return her daughter to me. I heard that after Shuiwen learned about this, he had a big fight with her. In the evening, she came home to find me. When she came in, she was very tired, and her voice was hoarse, just because of the daughter. So you want to do this to me? Jiangqing, I am your wife. You are not my wife. You are just Shuiwen's wife. My voice was cold. She had already broken my heart before. I can't forgive her anymore. If it weren't for my daughter, I would have left a long time ago. Clearly, Shuiwen's existence doesn't affect you. Why do you have to make such a fuss? Do you know that you will destroy me like this? She roared and collapsed. You also destroyed me. I stared at her intently. The Jiangqing who once loved her so dearly was destroyed by her own hands. Suyao, take me to see my daughter. It was a statement, not a plea. Her eyes reddened. If you see our daughter, you will leave me, won't you, Jiangqing? Jiangqing, it was you who saved me from the darkness, and now you are pushing me into it. She suddenly hugged me. Don't treat me like this, please. Just wait for me a little longer, and once I get what I want, I will divorce Shuiwen. I closed my eyes, not wanting to hear her powerless promises. There was no possibility for us anymore. Just take me to see our daughter, and I won't leave you. Really? Her eyes lit up with hope. Yes. Suyao did bring our daughter home to see me. Our daughter was born in the 2nd year of our marriage. She is already 5 years old now. Seeing her small figure, dressed in a princess dress, I was deeply moved and hurried forward to hold her. I am your father. Suyao also taught her, call him dad, he is your real father. Just as I was wondering why Suyao was saying this, our daughter suddenly pushed me away fiercely. Go away, I don't want you. You are not my father is Shuiwen. I was completely stunned. What are you talking about? Didn't I just teach you? Suyao slapped her on the buttocks. She immediately started crying. I want to go to dad. I want to tell him you hit me. Every dad, she uttered, was like a knife stabbing into my heart. Suyao was so angry that she wanted to hit her again, but I grabbed her hand. Let's go to the room and talked. In the room, Suyao and I stood face to face. Our daughter was watching cartoons outside. Chung, listen to me. I had no choice back then. If I didn't say our daughter was Shuiwen's, he would definitely divorce me. She held my hand, anxiously explaining to me. I pushed her hand away bit by bit. That's why you haven't let me see our daughter all these years. That's why you were also deliberately delaying before. I'm sorry. She spoke bitterly. I was just doing it for my future, you know. I was criticized so badly back then, relying on Shuiwen. He could help me a lot. Chung, I know I've wronged you. Just wait for me a little longer. I will be able to get the certificate with you soon. Enough. I looked at her. Over the years with her, we were really in love. Traveling together, living together, experiencing the ups and downs of life. But now, I suddenly feel she is so strange. So strange that everything I experienced with her seems like a dream I had. You may leave. I don't want to see you. That night, Suyao kept begging for my forgiveness. I hid in the room, really not knowing what to do. She has been deceiving me for 7 years and let me be the third party for 7 years, and even my daughter has to call someone else dad. I really can't forgive her. The next morning, Sia was still busy with work and she was going to take our daughter away. I hurriedly said, "Don't worry, I won't take our daughter away. Just leave her here." She hesitated a bit, but agreed. After she left, our daughter sat in the living room playing with toys, and when she saw me coming, she hit me with a toy. "I saw you on the news. Dad called me and said you were a third party. You made him and Mom argued. Go away, I don't want to see you. The people I love deceived me, and my daughter also hates me. I think there is no one more miserable in the world than me, right? I am not the third party. I walked over, squatted in front of her, and patiently explained, "I am your real father. We have a blood relationship. You are not my father." She smashed the toy hard on my head. "My father is the big boss Schwewen." My heart ached, and I hugged her tightly. "I really am your father. Will you come with me?" But she struggled desperately and bit my arm. I let go in pain, and she cried, "I have already called my dad. You are finished." As soon as she finished speaking, there was a knock on the door. As soon as I opened the door, a punch came at me fiercely. "Baby, did you bully my daughter?" Shuiwen's face was distorted, looking extremely angry. I was knocked to the ground, and before I could speak, I took another punch. Our daughter also cried and rushed into his arms. "Dad, he just bullied me." At this moment, my heart ached and I couldn't breathe. Shuiwen glared at me fiercely. "Jiangcheng, I trusted you so much before. I even sent my son to your class to study, but I didn't expect you to be a third party." "I am not." I immediately retorted. "Still not. Xiao has already told me. You seduced her. I tell you, I will make you unable to stay in the city." Hearing his words, I was stunned. Suyao said that to him about me. She also said she can't do without me. Let me wait for her. It's really ridiculous. At this time, Suyao suddenly came back. Seeing me beaten on the ground, she didn't pay attention to me, but held Shuiwen's hand. "Why are you here?" "Our daughter was taken here by him. If our daughter didn't call me, she would have an accident," Shuiwen said angrily. "Suyao, I advise you to break up with this man quickly, otherwise I will not be merciful to you." After that, he left with our daughter in his arms. Only Suyao and I were left. She hurriedly helped me up. "Are you okay? Go to the hospital by yourself, okay? I have to explain to Shuiwen. Otherwise, he will snow me," she said, and picked up her bag to leave. I grabbed her hand. "Are you going to continue with him?" She pushed my hand away hastily, as if afraid Shuiwen would cede. "Just for the time being. Wait for me." After Suya left, I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth. Looking at the home where I had lived with her for 7 years, we had spent a lot of happy times here. When she was pregnant, I cooked delicious food for her every day. She didn't like to eat vegetables at that time, and every time I had to change the way to make her eat. We also spent 7 Valentine's days here. Every time, she would say to me, "Acheng, I really love you. We will be together for a lifetime." At that time, I also loved her very much and loved this home. But now I am extremely disgusted. Once a heart is broken, it can never be pieced together. I packed my luggage and left the city. Our daughter is unwilling to recognize me now, and Shuiwen is also good to her. It is best for me to leave. I went to a mountain to teach. This has always been my dream. I really want to help children in poor areas. But because of Su Yao, I couldn't leave. After arriving here, a group of children brought fruits and eggs from home to me. They also cleaned up the dormitory for me. Looking at their innocent smiles, I feel that coming here is the right thing to do. In the evening, I packed up my things. Then I opened my phone and saw Suyao clarifying everything online. She said I seduced her, and those photos were mine. And I was scolded by netizens. Until today, I finally saw Suyao for who she is. I used to think she was gentle and intellectual, but now I know she is a selfish person who will do anything to achieve her goals. Just like now, for herself, she splashed all the dirty water on me. The bright round moon outside the window, I looked at it and made a vow in my heart. I will never be with Suyao again. The next morning, I received a call from Suyao. "Where did you go?" After answering, her voice was very anxious. "It has nothing to do with you, Suyao. We have no relationship now." Jiang Chen, you are so ruthless. I have been with you for 7 years, and you just left. She was a bit angry. I laughed sarcastically. The ruthless one is you. You pushed me away yourself. She was silent for a while, then said, then you don't want our daughter anymore? Thinking of our daughter hating me so much, my heart is still aching at the moment. If she is happier with Shuiwen, I am willing to let go. She doesn't want me to be her father. I will transfer the child support to your card in the future. Jiang Qing, you just leave me and our daughter completely. Are you still human? She was so angry that her teeth were chattering. I don't understand why she has the face to be angry. It was clearly her fault. Don't contact me anymore. You have your family and I have my life. With that, I hung up the phone and blocked her number and WeChat. I hope we can both be well in the future. Dressed neatly, I went to the classroom to teach the children. Unexpectedly, in the classroom, I met a young girl who looked out of place here. Seeing me, she showed a sweet smile. Hello, I'm Mu Qing. I've been teaching here for 3 years. The conditions here are poor, and no teachers are willing to come, so there has always been only me, the principal, and Naoyud. We really welcome you and are grateful that you are willing to teach here. You're welcome. Being able to help the children makes me happy. After that, she briefly introduced me to the children. At mealtime, Mu Qing served me food and brought it to my dormitory. I took a look and saw only potatoes and rice. The conditions here are poor, so let's make do with this. Then she chatted with me, asking where I was from. I briefly mentioned some things. Then she said that a big star would come to donate supplies next week and asked me to get up early. Before leaving, she said to me, Teacher Jiang, would you like to watch the stars tonight? The night here is very beautiful. I was free anyway, so I went with her. In the evening, we sat together on the playground, watching the night sky here. It's really beautiful here, with a sky full of stars and very quiet. Accustomed to the hustle and bustle of the city, it's quite relaxing for my soul here. I remember, Su Yao and I often went mountain climbing to watch the stars. She always snuggled up to me. Ah Chung, I'm so happy with you. I also suggested that she shouldn't be a star anymore and live a plain life with me. But she said, no, I like the feeling of being in the spotlight. So, for the sake of being in the spotlight, she didn't hesitate to deceive me and Shuiwen. What's wrong, Teacher Jiang? I was nudged by Mu Qing. I shook my head, not saying a word. You seem to have something on your mind. Isn't it about feelings? She looked at me and said, her eyes bright. I didn't expect her to be so accurate. Yes, feelings have hurt me, and feelings can't be touched. A week later, a big truck drove into the school, full of donated supplies. Mu Qing and I were moving things together. Then another nanny car drove in. Seeing this car, I was stunned. The next second, Su Yao got out of the car. Seeing Mu Qing and me standing together, her face changed drastically. She came over and grabbed me. Did you come here for another woman? It was an interrogative tone. Jiang Chum, can you be fair to me? I have divorced Shuiwen for you, and I came to find you and want to take you home, but you treat me like this. Wait, I don't understand. What is your relationship? Mu Qing suddenly spoke up. Look, even an outsider thinks this matter is absurd. I fiercely shook off her hand. Su Yao, I said, we have no relationship anymore. Her eyes turned red instantly. Is it because of this woman, right? Then I will beat this bitch to death. She raised her hand to hit Mu Qing. I grabbed her hand and dragged her into my dormitory. What are you making a fuss about? I have no relationship with her. She is a teacher here. She hugged me and her tears wet my shirt. Then come back with me, okay? I really can't do without you. I love you. If it were before, I would be very distressed to see her cry. But now I only feel disgusted. Su Yao, your love makes me feel sick. If you had told me you were registered with someone else at the beginning, I would never have been with you. I'm sorry. She covered her mouth, her body slightly trembling. I really had no choice. I was already pregnant at the time, and Shuiwen could help me a lot. Jiang Chung, can you understand me? Okay. And now I have divorced him. Why do you still hold on to this matter? So you deceived me for 7 years, and with a divorce from him, you can excuse yourself? Su Yao, you go. There is no possibility for us anymore. Why? She looked at me in despair. Jiang Chung, as long as you come back now, we can be the same as before. It's not possible to go back. I said softly. The exam paper, once handed in, can never be corrected. Suyao left. I thought she would never come back, but a few days later, she actually brought her daughter here. At this time, I was still washing dishes with Muqing. She came over with her daughter. Jiangcheng, the daughter can't be without a father. Now I have divorced Shuiwen, and I have told him that the daughter is yours. As soon as she finished speaking, her daughter suddenly burst into tears. I want to go back. I want to find Dad, Mom. Don't divorce Dad. Then she pushed Suyao away and ran out. Muqing hurriedly chased after her and held her. Be obedient. Don't run around. It's very remote here. Suyao rushed over and pushed her fiercely. Baby, don't touch my daughter. Suyao, don't take our matter out on others. I pulled Muqing and let her go to class first. Suyao became angry all of a sudden. The daughter is still there, and you are hugging and holding another woman. I rarely pay attention to her and also turned away. Suyao wanted to come in and make a scene, and I directly refused to see her. I thought she would leave, but she actually arranged a dormitory for herself and lived here with her daughter. Suyao, who usually eats well and lives well, I don't know if she can get used to it here. I don't want to care about her either. I just want to alienate her and let her leave as soon as possible. In the following days, she came to find me every day, wanting to sleep with me, and I refused every time. She is not used to the food here, and her daughter cries every day, making a fuss to go back. I suddenly feel that this is not the way, so I took the initiative to find Suyao in the evening. I took her to watch the stars. For the first time in a long time, we were so calm together. Suyao, you take your daughter and leave. We really can't be anymore. Unless you leave with us. She held my hand and choked. Jiangcheng, I now know I was wrong. I deceived you for the sake of benefits. After you left, I felt empty in my heart, and doing nothing was meaningless. I used to think I wanted to stand in the clouds and be admired by thousands of people, but now I understand that what I want is you. Without you, doing nothing is meaningless. Jiangcheng, let's go back and live a good life together. I will never be a big star anymore. I just want to spend the rest of my life happily with you and our daughter. A broken rope, even if tied again, always has a knot. Suyao, we really can't go back to... I said lightly. Suyao cried, covering her face and crying loudly. She seemed to have realized that I was completely disheartened with her, realizing that we can never go back. The next day, Suyao left with her daughter. Before leaving, her eyes were red. The door of the house is always open for you. The night she left, I couldn't sleep. I thought of when I was cooking, I was doing it, and she was laughing beside me. She said, "Honey, you are so silly. How can you pour out salt without opening the bag?" At that time, I thought I would grow old with her. But now I know that she and I were like that bag of salt from the beginning. There is no way to make the food delicious, and it is also doomed to have no result. I really don't understand. Why should two people who have no result meet? Epilogue 1. When Suyao saw the photo sent by Jiangcheng, she panicked, her heart beating fast. She was really afraid of losing Jiangcheng. She explained a lot, but Jiangcheng didn't listen. So, she had to use her daughter to threaten him. In fact, she really didn't love Shuiwen. She deliberately got drunk and went to his bed, just wanting to get pregnant and marry him. Perhaps it was too bitter for a long time, so she wanted to take a shortcut in this easy way. After getting the certificate with Shuiwen, she always pretended to work outside, because she couldn't let Jiangcheng find out about the child in her stomach. In this way, she gave birth to Shuihao, and Jiangcheng didn't find out, still loving her as before. She thought that Jiangcheng would never find out in his lifetime. But she forgot that paper can never wrap fire. After Jiangcheng proposed divorce, she was very angry. She thought Jiangcheng didn't love her at all, otherwise, how could he propose divorce casually? So, she ignored him. She deliberately announced her relationship with Shuiwen on Weibo. She deliberately showed affection with him. She thought this would make Jiangcheng jealous, and he would come to her for reconciliation. But she didn't realize that her actions were pushing Jiangcheng further and further away. In the end, she did push Jiangcheng away. She was completely panicked. She realized she had really made a mistake. Over the years, for money and fame, she had really lost herself. She also forgot that it was Jiangcheng who had pulled her out of the darkness. At first, She also made a vow in her heart to be with Jiang Cheng for a lifetime. She was also very clear that deceiving Jiang Cheng for so many years would have a great impact on him. But she thought that Jiang Cheng loved her so much that he would not leave her. After finding Jiang Cheng's whereabouts, she divorced Shui Wen and told him that the daughter was not his. Shui Wen was so angry that he smashed the cup. Su Yao, you are really disgusting. So it's not Jiang Cheng who seduced you. You have always been willing, right? Yes, Su Yao replied loudly. From the beginning to the end, I only loved Jiang Cheng, and marrying you was just for the sake of interest. Shui Wen's heart was cold. He didn't like Su Yao at first, but she took the initiative to climb into his bed, which made him have feelings for her. Married to Su Yao for 7 years, Su Yao has also been a good wife. He really believed in her, thinking that he could go to the end with her. But now he knows that he has been deceived for 7 years, just like Jiang Cheng. After divorcing Su Yao, Shui Wen got the custody of Shui Hao, and the daughter belonged to her. He was very angry, bought connections, and banned Su Yao. He thought that Su Yao would yield to him like this. But Su Yao went to find Jiang Cheng. Only then did he realize that Su Yao really only loved him. He himself was just a pawn for Su Yao. Epilogue 2. After Su Yao left with her daughter, she was muddled every day. She really couldn't let go of Jiang Cheng. So a few days later, she left her daughter to the nanny and secretly went to find him again. She paid to stay in a villager's house and secretly watched Jiang Cheng's life every day. He is with Mu Qing every day, teaching children together, going to the town to buy fried chicken for the children together. They also watch the stars together. She hid in the dark. Her eyes were sore and unbearable. She dared not go out because she knew Jiang Cheng no longer loved her. It was she who pushed him away. A year later, Jiang Cheng and Mu Qing got married. Their wedding was held in the village, very simple. Mu Qing wore very simply, and Jiang Cheng knelt in front of her with wildflowers. Will you marry me? Mu Qing nodded with tears in her eyes, willing. At this moment, Su Yao's heart seemed to be removed. She cried so hard in the dark that she was out of breath. In the end, she left. Perhaps letting go is the best apology to Jiang Cheng. A few years later, she met Jiang Cheng at the airport. Jiang Cheng was holding Mu Qing with one hand and a little boy with the other. He said to her with a smile, "What a coincidence." Her heart was extremely bitter. Yes, it's really a coincidence. This scene is exactly the same as the photo Jiang Cheng sent her before. Fortune turns, and now she has finally tasted the taste of Jiang Cheng at the beginning. It's really hard to bear. She really regrets deceiving Jiang Cheng. She also regrets valuing fame and fortune so much. In a trance, she seemed to see the young Jiang Cheng proposing to her. Yao Yao, will you marry me? But she can never marry him again.